This is a quick video on how I port the Volvo 530 heads. It's not that complicated. Everybody can do it with some basic tools. First off, you take off the valve train, of course, and we mainly focus on the intake ports. The main problem area in the intake ports is the rough edges, and also what I like to call the roof of the head. That's where we focus our time. These are the die grinder bits that I mostly use. We have this one. I only use this for taking off the valve guides, just grinding them down, because from factory they look like this. And we of course want the valve to go completely through here, and then we have to remove this one. So this is the one I use for taking off aluminium material. Just do the heavy work. Taking off, of course, only at the bottom. If you get yourself one of these, they are not expensive on Aliexpress or stuff like that, and they are so worth it compared to using this one for the whole job. This one clogs up really fast, and you're gonna have a bad time. When you have gotten your ish surface that you want, you go over with a stone to just smooth it out. I first start off by grinding down the valve guide. There's no correct way to do this. I just like to do it that way. You see, I'm about halfway done. Looks to be almost flush to the aluminium now, but that's not enough. We need more, especially around here. Just grind it all the way down. I'll show you. I've started now on this one. You see, only taking the roof of the head. Valve pointing like this. I've got to take more on the sides, a little bit there, but nothing on the bottom. I have done a bit more now. I'm starting to get the shape of it. And when you feel that you are getting really close, I'll show you here. When the valve is getting close, I would advise start doing this one for the grinding, because you are pretty close to the internal cooling jackets. So around here, if you haven't done this before, be a little careful. Don't take too much. Just make sure the valve is, oh my god, the valve is going through. So be a little careful when you have taken a lot of material out. You will take a lot of material out, but just when you feel like you are getting the shape of it, start doing the last bit with this one. The valve is going as far as this. It's almost through now. So when I reach this point, I like to do it from this angle. You see here, these edges are horrendous, not good. So I usually take my bit here. that I've gotten the general shape pretty much where I want it, I take this one and smooth off any edges, because the carbide burr is pretty, yeah, you see what I mean. I go around taking every single spot to smooth it out so it looks something, yeah, more like this. Okay, I've gotten the general shape of all the ports where I want them with 2 of these. They get used up pretty fast, so buy a lot. I'm going to show you a trick I learned from David Vissard on how to smooth them out even more. Get yourself one of these. It's meant for the dremel as well, and some paper like this. It's meant for screwing this on, and then you have sandpaper, but this is not going to work for us, so I'll show you a trick. Take a pair of scissors and cut them all around. I have to cut a bit of the edge off, because it's not going to fit inside the port unless I do this. When that is done, you'll have something like this. It's going to form around all the edges, angles in the head. After a few minutes, this is the end result. This is good enough. Is it perfect? No. Does it need to be perfect? No. You might think, oh, but I want it even more smooth. I want a mirror finish. Don't. When you need to push air, but also fuel through the intake valves, you actually want them to be around 40, sandpaper grit 40, because the fuel atomizes better. If it's all mirror finished, the fuel can start pooling and it's not going to be good. So don't care about mirror finish. I didn't have any 40, so I used 80, but yeah, should be good enough. But look at this. I am definitely no expert. This is like my 4th 530 head maybe, and this is very good. This one is before, this is after. The exhaust port is designed not particularly good. It's actually way too big, so there's not a lot of material that we need to take out to make it a lot better. But what we can do is take off the rough edges. If you feel on your head around down here, the aluminium goes down, out, down, and in again. It's so bad. They did not focus any time on this when they designed these and made these heads. So what we do, we grind off this hump, and we also focus around this, because it's literally 90 degrees. I've gotten away the rough edges that I wanted. I used one of these stones at the end after the grinding was done. On the intake side we used one of these. They are round, they were great on the intake, but the exhaust is square and mostly flat. So another tip I learned from David Vissard was to get one of these sandpapers. Open them up a little, cut off the edge, and you have something amazing that does the same job as that one. When the edge gets worn out, just take a scissor and cut it off and roll more out. After a while with the sandpaper, your exhaust port is done. You should always feel, make sure there are no rough edges anymore. And yeah, the general finish is okay. If you want to make a mirror finish on the exhaust port, go ahead. There's no downsides to it, but it doesn't really matter. It's gonna get filled up with carbon anyways, so I don't bother. But yeah, that's all. Intake valves are done. They are looking great, as you see. And the exhaust valves, they're a little bit more tricky to get good, but yeah, this is good enough. If you are going to build this head for a turbo engine, like I am on this one, I would advise you to put down the valves back into the head and then grind down the squish area, the combustion chamber. This will do to, yeah, basically prevent detonation on bad pump gas. But if you are going to use the engine for NA cars, for an NA build, or E85 that likes high compression, you can just leave them as is. But if you're going to build a turbo engine and use regular gas, like premium 93, 95, 98, I would advise taking down the edges here, so you'll lower the compression. Place down any old head gasket, use your old head studs, and yeah, you see now, we actually have a lot of material we can take off here. Here, here, and here. When you've gotten the general shape where you want it, get yourself the sandpaper bit once more and just start smoothing it off. That's it. Now we're all done with the head. Chambers done. Are they perfect? No. Should I probably check them to see if the CCs match? I should, but I'm not going to. It's going to be good enough. Now it is up to you. Do you want to use the stock valves? Do you want to upgrade to some 46, 38 valves? It's going to be a great benefit for any engine, either NA or boosted. Yeah, that's it. Just going to say thank you to Bergen Street Racing Team. This was solely his idea to use the exhaust valve to guide how much you're going to take out. Amazing idea by him, so thanks a lot to that guy. It's been said that a head done this way can produce about 190 CFM. That's pretty good for a home job. Of course, you can buy a CNC ported max head. That's gonna cost you a bunch of money. But if you're not going insane power numbers, this will work better. So yeah, thank you guys, and good luck.